What's going on, everybody? If you're watching this is the first daily market update I'm trying to do. We're going to just kind of go over the basics, see what's happening throughout the day. Me personally, I used to drive a lot. I used to work a lot. I still do work a lot, matter of fact. But I listen to a lot of these kind of as background noise. I just like to know what's going on in the market. And that's what I hope to bring to you. So right now, as we're looking, we see silver is sitting, not looking good at the moment. Not looking good. It's looking better when you zoom out. If we can zoom out here, right? We zoom out where we compared to where we were. Just even 2 weeks ago, right? We're still way higher than we are, but in the moment, we're getting it right there. We got this nice little head and shoulders pattern forming. So we got the head, the two shoulders, and that's where we're heading down. We gapped up a couple times, kind of going after Christmas. And so with each gap, you got to feel that coming back down. So that's what I believe we were seeing right there. They raised the margin. They hiked that up. And so, with that, there's definitely creating a lot more volatility. They're definitely thinking that this isn't going to sustain. And I don't know if it's going to sustain or not. But this is what I do know, is that there is a huge shortage of silver. We have been in a silver deficit for multiple years now. And with that news, it's just simple supply and demand. We're going to hear about all these other things where, they're going to say, oh, it's just, a boom, and now it's going to come back down to regulate. But if you look at anything else over time, doesn't just have to be metals or silver, anything that was in high demand and low quantities, what do? You raise the price. So for me, keeps it super simple as to why I'm going to keep stacking. Now, short term, like I said, we got this little head and shoulders. So if you're looking at technical analysis when it comes to, the precious metals or silver more specifically, guys, I think we could be going down a little bit more. I think we could be going down. And, right here is kind of where around this $70 range. Zoom out a little bit more. Come on. There we go. So right here around this 68, we had a 62, 64. It was early December. Let me zoom out a little bit more. This is where we dropped right here at the beginning of December. We went from around 65 down to 59. This is where I believe we should kind of see everything steady out. Now, what could be happening, could be creating a big W formation right here. So we went up, came back down, went up really hot, and see right here how each time we legged up, came back down, legged back up, came back down, went up, came back down, went up, stabilized ourselves, came down a little bit. But from right here at this point, which is going to be about $64, $66, right in between there, 65. From there forward, we really do just have straight upward, maybe a down day, but up, 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 came down, up, up. Everything was just pretty much up from there. So just kind of looking back, we're not going to go too far back here. Yeah, if you're just looking at this chart from a non-biased, technical standpoint, everything was pretty steady. We did have this big upward motion right here, but it didn't continue going straight up from here, right? We stabilized a little bit. We went down, tested that right here where this mark is, right at that $56 mark. Tested that right there. Still came back up, still stabilized. And so this is where I like it right here. Right around this 56, 57. And came up, stabilized that some more. I like how we came back down right there, testing that $59, $60 range. And from there, we decided to come back up and stabilize again. Just kind of everything's just so natural coming up right here. All right, this is, I believe, what more of a natural supply and demand would look like, because if we continued this, we would right now, theoretically, we'd probably be around 68, 67, but over here, right? Because we need that up. We need to come down. We need to test different levels right here, right at that 64. And then from there, man, we just pretty much shot up. And we never tested this $66, $67 range again. All right, we basically just started going up from there, and then everything just went straight up. Now, a lot of news did come out between China stopping exports starting this year, or starting in 2026. And then I even saw something today where Trump may be stopping exports out of the United States, which I don't believe we mine a lot of silver ourselves. So it could be more of a play on just trying to how he worked with those tariffs. It was, yes, we wanted to bring more business into America, but a lot of that was to prove that point that, you're not just going to run over America, and you're not going to create all the rules and make us follow them, make us be at the beck and call of you. We have things that are valuable as a country as well. So sometimes I think Trump likes to play that little game a little bit, and so I wouldn't read too much into that. But like I said, I like to see it. We really never tested, right? Everywhere we go, we tested it then, came back up, tested, came back up, tested right there, and then boom, we just shot up all the way, and then now we're creating this head and shoulders right here. I think over, the first week could be rough. I think we're going to test this $66, $65 range again. And if we can stay here, if we can stay right along that path, right along 64, 65, 66 right there, and not go down, I think we have a smoother sailing head up, going all the way up. Now this could be end of January, mid-February by the time that happens. So be patient, because if you look back historically, we've been in this range for a long time, right? We've been in that $20 to $30 range. It's just this year we kind of broke out of that, and then we started making these new all-time highs. And so this is just where I see everything kind of sitting right now. So that's my silver update. Hold your horses. I know things are going down, and if we fall below this right here, which it looks like we're going to test it today. It looks like New Year's Eve. We're closed. Markets are closed January 1st. But here New Year's Eve, looks like we're going to be testing right along this $70. It looks like we're going to be testing that $70. See where we stand. If we fall below that $70, I hate to break it to some of you guys who just invested in silver and just started stacking, but we're probably going to be testing that $64 to $66 range somewhere by the mid-January and January. But again, it's not the worst thing in the world. We go back in history, and you look at any type of chart, these huge swings that we've been having to the upside. I mean, it can't just all be upside swings. So it'll be okay. I want to take you over to gold here for a second. Let's do our update on gold. Again, gold shot all the way up to 45.40. Now we're testing it down at 43. And again, it looks like gold needs to is going to come down and retest. It's going to retest that 42.80. If I had to take a wild guess, because this is where some of our highs were right here, around 42.80, and then it's looking like this is where some of our lows were right here, and then we just had that straight shot up. So we're probably going to be getting that straight shot down. It's going to want to retest this line right here. So stay alert on that 42.80, 42.60. And again, if we fall behind that, we could be easily going back and retesting the 4100s. That's just kind of what it looks like to me. And if we can't sustain that, we're going to be testing the 4000s again. Let's hope it doesn't get there, boys and girls. Let's hope it doesn't get there. Let's hope it does not get to that right there. Now another one. Let's check out platinum. Platinum. I mean, I don't know exactly. I mean, this is absolutely insane. Absolutely, pretty much no resistance from this nice $2,000 range all the way up. You can see a mini. It's not a full head and shoulders right there, but it's got the making of a double top right there. Couldn't hold it. Now it's going to come back down. And man, I mean, just from here to here, from that $1,700 range all the way up really to $1,900. I mean, we were just kind of like at that 45-degree angle, which is nice. But man, that's when you look at everything here, it's a lot more stable. We're a lot more stable in that $1,700 to $1,500 range right here. So if we can't hold this is our last little consolidation line right here around this 1900. Everything else was pretty much up from there. So if we can't hold that 1900, definitely see us coming back down to 17, then probably testing 15 before that gets a rebound. But guys, that's my market update for today. It's my first one. Thank you for tuning in. Gonna try and do better. Just bring you some real life news, how I see it. Hope everyone has a happy new year. Cheers.